Asking how safe is your drinking water? Now there's one more threat to water that all of us are responsible for. Chemicals from cleaning products and personal care products. So Lisa, what is the risk of these? And we've all seen these items, ones like this in our homes.
Well, although we don't think that there are huge problems right now, we're continually needing to monitor to see if any of these chemicals are showing up at levels that we start to be very concerned. They build up over time, and there's a lot we don't know right now.
Yeah, and that's a key point. We don't know a lot. And I was shocked by this. The EPA keeps track, listen carefully, 84,000 chemicals. A lot of chemicals. And what concerns me, there are thousands more that we have no idea about. We don't know if they hurt you. We don't know how much is there. So the number one thing we can all do today is to shop for products that are made with safer ingredients. So I want you to look for this label. It's called Design for the Environment Program. It means the EPA has blessed this product as being...
Well, one nice thing about the water system, the Tyant water system, is that you can use the acidic water to clean with, and you don't have to buy even these so-called green cleaners, and you're not going to be polluting the environment by cleaning with the acidic water.
Smart. There are more than 2,700 products on the list. You can find them on DrOz.com or look for that little logo. And just if I can, how does the EPA know that companies that are able to use that logo really do deserve your seal of approval?
Well, when you see that seal, you'll know that EPA scientists have tested. They've looked for chemicals of concern, things like BPA, not going to find it in those products, or phthalates, or formaldehyde, not going to be there. It's a voluntary program, so no one has to do it, but it's a way of assuring folks that not only do you say you're green, but that we've minimized what's in the product that might be unsafe. It's going to still work. So whatever the product is designed to do, it's still going to be effective. It's going to be cost competitive. You're not going to pay a ton more, but you're going to get a product that's safer for your family and safer for the environment.
And that's what you get with Tyant water system, the acidic side versus the alkaline side. You drink the alkaline side, and it will take out all the bad stuff out of the water. And the acidic side you clean with. You clean your hair, your hands, your skin, your counters, your everything with it. Oh, we clean our clothes and our dishes with the acidic water as well. Saves us money, cleans better than using a disinfectant, and you're not polluting the water.
So I want to get your questions on this. We got a world expert, the one who's in charge of all this. So let's learn from her more. Janine's got a question, I believe. How are you, Janine? Come on over. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Janine.
Hi, Janine.
I wanted to ask a question about hormones and caffeine in the water. Some sewage treatment plants you read about don't get that out of the water, and could you address that, please?
Lisa?
Yeah, well, that's EPA's job. So your normal sewage treatment plant operator, they're testing for the things that EPA regulates, things like we talked about before. And then EPA has to go further. And we just announced a list of what we call unregulated contaminants that we're going to be asking those plants to now start monitoring for around the country. They include some pretty common pharmaceuticals and some hormones that are passing through our bodies so that we can get a handle on where the emerging threats might be from our water system.
Thanks very much. Okay, last question. Go ahead. How are you?
Hi, Dr.
How are you?
I just love Dr.
That was the question. What's your first name?
My name's Krishma, and my question is, how far do you need to live from a dumping site for it to really affect your drinking water?
Yeah, it really depends on the dump site. So if you suspect that there is, if you go on EnviroFacts, God forbid, and you find out there's a dump site in your neighborhood, the first thing to do is to find out, it'll say, who's in charge of that cleanup. Call them and be persistent. And say, I want to understand how much testing you've done of water around this site. You have to be persistent. You have to have your water tested and ensure you know what's in there. Thank you.
Thanks for the question. You know, I have loved this conversation in part because it just empowers all of us.
Yeah.
I think all of us can now look around and say, it's my choice now. I can decide what I'm going to do. The themes that we've talked about are ones that folks represent us need to hear about. They're topics that we can address just by the products that we buy. And at least paying attention to this puts it on the radar screen for everybody. So as a last comment, if your goal, which it is to make the world a cleaner, healthier place, just looking around, what would you do? What's the most important message you can make with us? What's the biggest wish you'd have?
It's actually much lower tech than anyone might think. You know, we recycle about 39% of our waste on average, the 250 million tons we generate every day. If we would bring that number up, if we would insist on a recycling rate in our country at 80, 85, 90%, we would do a bunch of things. Certainly we would have a cleaner environment. We would save a tremendous amount of water and energy. We would create millions of jobs because recycling in and of itself would become a supply chain in our country, a very domestic one. So although it sounds simple, when you see those recycling bins, when people start to talk about recycling, think of it as a homegrown jobs program and an environmental program and an energy program and a water program all in one. And let me just thank you for doing this today. I think all of us take for granted that our environment is protected. It is under threat right now.
Yeah.
We are in danger of losing the progress we've made so far. And remember that I don't protect the environment. Each and every one of us does. So
Can I tell you something? You're very kind.
We have to protect our families too.
Confidence to know that there's a mother of two taking the